And that was real restraint, bipartisan restraint on the part of the Congress, which was controlled for much of that period by the Republicans, and a Democratic administration. It's harder now, but the spending restraint is not impossible.
Bob?
There's an important point here in what Alice just said. And I think it is that restraints, when they're tough but realistic, can work. When you try to impose restraints, targets, whatever they may be, that look good for those policymakers who are putting them in place, don't take effect for a number of years, and go so far that they're wildly politically unrealistic, that doesn't help at all. It can even be a negative, because that's when the system blows them away. So, for example, the Graham-Rudman-Hollings targets were far too severe. They were blown away. The limits that were put into effect in the 1990 bipartisan agreement, Democratic Congress, Republican leaders cooperated, first President Bush led, he should get great credit for that. The 1990 agreement had pay-as-you-go rules, and it had caps on non-entitlement spending that were set at realistic levels, and they were adhered to. And that was continued in the 93 Clinton agreement, and those were adhered to. Now, in 97, there were spending caps on non-entitlement spending put in that were far more severe, and they got blown away. Partly it was because the deficit disappeared and there was less need, but also they were so severe they got blown away. Also in 97, all the other Medicare savings enacted in 90, 93, 2005, and in 97 really did take effect, except for one big one. It wasn't assumed to be big at the time. This was the physician's fee thing. Mm-hmm. And it was poorly designed in 97, unfortunately. It was originally designed, they thought it would only do modest savings. It would be one of these realistic things. It turned out that it had a formula that caused huge cuts in fees to physicians, taking them below their costs, and Congress blows it away every year. The reason I'm bringing this up is I have a little bit of a fear, and looking at both Alice and Congressman Ryan, I hope the new commission doesn't set some kind of goals or targets that look like they hit something down the road, but are so tough and so severe that they won't be adhered to. I would rather take somewhat longer to get to it. I think Bob Reischauer said the same thing in his statement to you yesterday. I'd rather take a little longer to get to whatever goal we're trying to get to on debt as a share of the economy, and have it be a path we can enforce and live within, than set some kinds of targets that in the beginning look good on paper, but when the rubber meets the road, they get blown away.
The short-term versus the long-term goals is at the nut of this. So let me ask the two members of